Hello, Mayhem Makers. Welcome back to another Mindy's Monday Mayhem Tips. This week, what I've decided to talk about is sew-alongs and some English paper piecing. And I know that I've talked about English paper piecing a little bit in the past. We're going to talk about it again a little more because I do have a sew-along that is English paper piecing based coming up. But let's just kind of explain sew-alongs in general, because not everybody quite understands what a sew along might be, and they come in all different types, at least at our store. So we have what I would say are monthly sew alongs. So we have like our temperature quilt, we have the nebula sew along, we have graphic jam coming up. I have monthly some mystery ones that I've been doing, all kinds of varieties of them. So those ones that are potentially like temperature quilt and nebula, they're once a month. So once a month minimum, I come live and I kind of explain to you potentially how the block is being done, sorry, I always seem to have an itchy nose. What steps we're doing. So temperature quilts, it's a different block every month. So every month I come and I tell you the block, show you what's going on, all those kinds of things. So those are fairly straightforward, easy. Some may come with a kit, some may not. A lot of times we know you guys don't always like our fabrics per se, or you might want to tweak it. So we like to be flexible for you, let you pick your own fabric. So it makes it a little nicer for those of you that just, your color combos are different than ours, and that's okay. Everybody wants their quilt to be a little different. Some other sew-alongs we have, like my mystery ones. I have kind of a monthly sew-along. Quite a few of them have been mystery, and those are just where every week in a month I will give you a different step, and at the end of the month you have a quilt. So, and those, they're nice. They're short little, 4 or 5 weeks depending on the quilt, and then you have a project done where the monthly ones, it may be 9 months, it may be a year, all those kinds of things. So monthly ones are nice because they're just a shorter chunk. The mystery ones have been fun. We kind of started those with COVID just to keep you guys into something different. It's always a surprise in the end. You don't necessarily know what the quilt's going to look like, so it's kind of fun. And it generally, week 1 starts out with cutting, then you have a block or 2 of construction, and then the end it's putting it together. So I try to keep it fairly simple. So it is beginner friendly, kind of all experience level friendly, and just, we try to have a good time. And generally I'll mess something up and, tell you how not to mess things up. But that's how I say I teach anything. My job is to teach you how to do it correctly, and I generally figure out how to do it incorrectly ahead of time for you. So it's just how I am. And then we have some sew-alongs that run a little differently. I have one that's called Cider, and it is a weekly sew-along, but it's going to be like 9 weeks. Or if you did my butterfly sew-along, that one was, what was it, 12 or 15 weeks. It's a little longer, but it's not monthly so that you're not committing to an entire year. So I keep it more weekly, but a longer term because generally it's a bigger project. So Cider, here we go, also known as Stars for Carter. You can either buy the Cider kit, which looks like this. All the fabric comes in it except for the backing. Or you can do the buy-in, get the pattern, pick your own fabrics, and still follow along just with your own fabrics. So this one's a little more flexible. It starts in April on the 9th, and that is definitely a weekly for 9 weeks. I love star quilts, so this was one that I just had to do. And it, unfortunately, with COVID, kind of ran behind. It actually was supposed to start like last October, November. COVID put lots of things a lot further behind than we expected. So if you're into star quilts, this is definitely a fun one. We have a couple kits left if you want to do this color palette. What's nice is the pattern also, let's see if I can go backwards, shows it in a neutral design. And so if you like neutrals or want to play with neutrals, that's an option too. And as always, we'll gladly help you pick fabrics you know, you struggle with color, those kinds of things, just let us know. We'll help you out. Still our favorite part in the store is actually putting fabrics together and playing with them. It's just fun. We love just fabric. So other sew-alongs, Graphic Jam is one that Katie's going to do for us. It's a foundation paper piecing one, so one where you sew on paper, designed by Sassafras Laying. That one is what we call subscription based. So subscription based, along with Nebula, is also subscription based. It is one where each month you will get a kit. So you'll get a fabric, you'll go through, most likely get a pattern, depending which one. Nebula, you get a pattern each month. Graphic Jam, I think you get a book up front, so you'll know what you'll be doing. But each month you'll get fabric and make blocks, and you'll have, if you do Graphic Jam, you have Katie teaching you how to do it, or like Nebula, you have me. So that's just a little different, but subscription is where it's just, it auto bills you. And so just every month you don't really have to think about it. Somebody calls, says your kit's ready, and the fabric's just ready for you to cut and sew together. So that's kind of nice because it's kind of brainless. It's just, here's your kit, here's your pattern, ready to roll. So subscription-based ones are kind of fun too. And we have more coming. We have a Nana Maria Horner coming one in June. And I know we have some others in the works. So keep an eye on it. We definitely heard your call out for sew-alongs. So we're going to keep trying to work more in, and potentially some different ones. April, my monthly sew-along, instead of being a mystery, is one called Daisy. And it is a fun kind of daisy block. And next month we're going to focus on color. So we'll show you different color layouts, color bundles, those kinds of things. So like I said, those of you that struggle with color, you may want to join in April, because we're definitely going to talk different topics of color, warm tones, cool tones, all those kinds of things. So that might be a fun one for you. And rainbow, who doesn't love rainbow colors? So the sample just came in today. So we'll get it hung in the shop. We'll get it out on social media. You'll see what it looks like, and see if you want to join in next month with me. And as always, sometimes I change patterns in my sew-along. So that is another pattern where I didn't like how it was written, so we're adapting it to do some foundation paper piecing. Very simple foundation paper piecing for those of you that get a little nervous about it, but I just think it's easier than how the pattern was written. Kind of common for me. Same with cider. Block 1, I already didn't like how they taught it, so I'm going to rework it for people. Sometimes I just like to take my experience and teach you how to do it a little easier. And then, so we did have, you know, weekly, monthly subscriptions, all different kinds. And then starting next month also, I have like 5 different sew-alongs next month that I'm trying to keep track of, is this one. So this one's called Millie Morsels. This one is English paper pieced. Katja Merrick started out, she became popular with her Millie Fiore quilt, and that was one of the first EPPs I taught when I first opened up almost years ago. It was the hot new craze, and so I taught that one as a monthly sew-along. This is her newest block of the month creation, and I fell in love. So this is definitely another one that is subscription based. Every month you'd get a kit with fabric, and then you get a pattern pack. And what's nice with English paper piecing is it is all handwork, and I know some of you, hand's a 4-letter word, but you know, I think more people have kind of picked up doing handwork with COVID and those kinds of things, because what else are we going to do? I'm almost there. My little rosette here. And it's just what we call slow stitching. You just take your pieces, sew them together. So, and I like this if I'm sitting in front of the TV with my husband or the kids. It's just what I consider mindless, because it's just kind of a whip stitch to sew everything together. And what's nice with this sew-along is it's just a rosette every month. So fairly simple, and then some filler blocks. So not big, huge rosettes like the original Millie Fiore was. And the nice thing with English paper piecing, there are just basic supplies that you need. We did just get in, I have to show these off, these little needle cases. Stay sharp, and they're just They're thin and then magnetic, and you just put your different needles. What's nice is you could have different ones for different types, so you could keep like, oh, my embroidery ones are in here, and then look at needle a little love, or get to the point. You could have different types in different cases, and because they're thin, you know, you just pack them up in your bag, keep them nice and compact and organized. I get a little OCD on my organizational stuff. So these are great new products in, and they are on the website. Just go in the search bar, magnetic needle case. Simple, and then you'll see the different designs available. Otherwise, for English paper piecing, you know, you need good threads, glue stick. This is the line, and it's refillable. You can tell it's well loved. It's very gooey, but refillable, reusable. You just have little refills. And then things like Wonder Clips. I love these. These are the smaller ones, but you can also probably see on my lanyard, I've got the basic ones. I use these for paper piecing, bag making, binding, you name it. I love it. But they also have, look at these little babies, little baby Wonder Clips, which are nice for especially paper piecing, trying to keep all your pieces together and not get in the way of you doing handwork. Another tip, if you've never done this, turn it right side up. Quilt books that you're using a lot, go to your local print shop, have them chop off the binding and spiral bind it for you. And you can even have, like I have them put this plastic cover on, and they even put it back on. And then that way it lays flat, just nice, flat, for you guys. So any book that you use a lot, this is my hot tip. Go have it spiral bound. It's not super expensive, but definitely, like, this is my book for the Millie Morsels, and so I need it open so I can look at the designs and how they're laid out. And trying to fight a book in its binding, you know, and then you end up like breaking the binding and pages fall out. Just stop. Just stop doing that. Go have it spiral bound. We use Post-Knit here in Snohomish, but you probably, if you have a, what is it, Staples, Kinko's? I don't know. Whatever you have close to you that does printing, go have them do that to any of your books. Just have it made so much easier for you. So those are some of the things that I do for like my English paper piecing and for this sew along. But this one is going to be fun because it's rainbow. So we're starting out in the blue, and we're going to work our way around the rainbow in rosettes. And if you do the subscription, you'll get fabric every month. And if you're like me, we do have the option. You can get templates for cutting. These templates are amazing. Paper Pieces does these where you get a 3/8 seam allowance already added in, so you can fussy cut. And so that, I'll show you what I did. I was able to fussy cut the bee. And so I just used the template that went with this. I could make sure I had the bee lined up, cut my fabric out, and everything's nice and pretty. So every one of my rosettes has a little bee. Are these cute? So if you sign up for the subscription, this fabric is included in it. So you too can have bees. Or if you want to play with your own stuff, that's great too. We can do just buy in and join along, and then you would just get papers every month to go with it. Templates are optional. They're not included. They're just a nice to have. Not everybody likes them. Some people like making their own templates, all those kinds of things. So we left that optional for you guys. But if you do join in, you do get the book also. You do need this new Hexagon 2 book. And otherwise, then every month I do my live in the private group, and we just talk about how to do each one. I swear, if you guys can hear my dog that sounds like he's dying, I apologize now, because as we know, it's just how my house is. I try. I gave him a Chewy. He's just sad he doesn't get to be here. But yes, so, and also with English paper piecing so long, I'll teach you all the things you need, like thread gloss, all the stuff I've already talked about, different techniques, all of that you'll learn in that sew along. So if you want to know more about English paper piecing, this is a good one to start as a beginner. Yes, Jen, good. Get your book spiral bound. I appreciate all of you that are joining me today. I love it. It makes me so happy to see you guys on here. So thank you for all your happy comments and joining along in my mayhem. I really hope you can't hear him, but I'm pretty sure you can. And I promise he's not dying. He's just very needy. But otherwise, that was it. I just wanted to explain sew-alongs. We get a lot of questions and calls and comments and trying to figure them all out. And I know we just have a huge variety of them because everybody has something different that they want to do. So we're trying to make sure we appease all of you. If there are other sew-alongs you want me to do, let me know. Reach out to me because I'm always looking for new patterns and new things to do. Because 5 in a month isn't enough for me apparently. No, trust me, 5 in a month is more than enough. I think that's where I'm going to top out. But they've been fun, and temperature quilt's pretty easy and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to know more, reach out to us. You can email me, Mindy@quiltingmayhem.com, Facebook message me, call the shop, ask the girls there. Any of them should be able to answer you or get answers for you. So we'll gladly help you if you just think, so long something you want to do, something new, something different. And a lot of them, you don't have to think about it. So we try to keep some of them easy. Otherwise, hey, Carol and Renee. Love it. Renee all the way in Texas. Miss you guys. So once again, thanks for joining me on another Monday. And still, send me ideas what you want me to talk about. I have a list, but, it always seems boring to me. So tell me what you want to know, what you want me to show you, teach you, demystify for you, all those kinds of things. And until next Monday, you guys, go enjoy that weather and keep on stitching.